The really nice thing about these new companies like an Uber is they have built networks and software without really having a lot of overhead. And so obviously they have overhead in terms of engineers, in terms of marketing costs, but something like Uber is brilliant because they don't own any of the cars that you get in. They have harnessed that from people out in the world and created that network. And so if you can create those type of network effects, you will find yourself able to hook into things like Uber or Zillow, where you take advantage of something that is out there, harness that, and then you can hook that into something that already exists.
Because most of your revenues at Zillow come from advertisements from the industry that you've come in and tipped over, right? Realtors.
Yes, correct.
Fascinating.
Yeah, we're providing more contacts and more visibility than agents have gotten in the past. And yes, they pay for that visibility to be there.
Fascinating. Daniel, how did you have the nerve, the vision, dare to say, I see an opening for me in shared luxury transportation. I see an opening for me between Uber and taxi cabs.
So, thanks, Joe. I would say where we saw the opening was between Uber and taxi cabs and the bus system. Between very affordable, very...
Want to bring it back just a little bit, or bring it up on you? Yep.
Between very affordable, inexpensive public transit that wasn't perhaps as efficient or as convenient for many people, and taxis or limos, Uber, whether you're booking them on your phone through Uber or Lyft, or whether you're hailing them down in the street or calling them, in between those two modes of transportation, we identified a really interesting niche that we thought we could harness. And it was really quite easy. Once we saw, so my partner Oren and I, once we saw that opportunity, it just seemed like a no-brainer to just go for it.
Isn't a no-brainer? Easy for you to say. Isn't that interesting? Then you saw that actually there was already somebody else between Uber and a cab, the bus, and then you improved on what was already there.
Right, so if you think about it, in New York City now, it's $275 to take an MTA bus or the subway, and the typical taxi trip will cost you $15. Uber will typically be more expensive. Somewhere in between there's quite a lot of room, and there are quite a lot of people who might want to have a different experience than the bus or the subway, either because they don't like the physical experience or because the physical grid on which these services run, the routes up and down the avenue, just don't match the trip that they want to take. If you know Manhattan, for example, every time you want to go across town, it's pretty tough. And maybe they don't want to pay $15 or $20 or so to take a cab. And in between there, we thought there was a terrific opportunity. I think the quality of service we're shooting for is quite different